a little dissertation on. Hi, welcome to Miss Julie's Montessori Minutes. I'm Miss Julie. I'm so glad you found this video. My communication tip today is short and sweet. Ready? Here it is. Only ask your child a question if you can live with the answer to your question. Only ask your child a question if you can live with the answer to that question. Sounds obvious, right? However, what happens frequently in the little lives of a toddler is someone will ask them a question such as, will you put your shoes in the closet, please? Sounds like a question. He or she thought it was a question, but really it was not a request or the adult asking the child to do them a favor. It was really an instruction phrased as a question. And it's very easy to fall into this because with the child, as they get older, it's not so new and exciting and thrilling to be actually asked to help in the environment, and their will is well developed, and so they start to say no, but we're still in this habit of expecting them to say yes, right? But that stage of their life is over. But we're still asking a question when really it's not a question. So the example I referred to, will you please put your shoes away? The child thinks that's a question, and it is, and says no. And then the adult, who really was not asking the child if they would, even though that's the words that came out of their mouth, they're really telling them that that's a requirement in the house that you put your shoes away and reminding them to do so. We'll follow up with a lot of other language trying to convince the child that's a good idea, or, kind of scolding them for not being willing to put things away, when all the child did was answer the question and their answer was no. And the problem with this scenario is that, A, it frustrates the child because he or she answered a question and yet that answer is not accepted. So it's frustrating. And even though the child did not give consent, it's ignored, and the adult is kind of coercing the child into giving consent, which is not something we want to be modeling. A connected to that last one is it models ignoring your person's voice. We asked a question and then we ignored the answer, overrode the answer, disregarded the voice of the child. Also not something we want to model, and we don't want the child to feel as if they don't have a voice. Right? So what do we do instead? If we are communicating an expectation, it should be phrased in another way, not in question form. So take the example of a reminder for the child to put their shoes away, and that happens at school 800 times. No, I don't have that many students. Happens at school frequently. They're excited to get in, but we don't say, will you put your shoes away, please? Because that's a requirement. That's an expectation at school that they put their shoes away. So if they forget, my go-to is just a statement of fact, a reminder. Oh, your boots are still on the floor. And then that's a reminder. They know what to do, and they'll go put their shoes away. Or say, please put your shoes away. Not, will you please put your shoes away, but please put your shoes away. You could say, we'd appreciate it if you put your shoes away. And I favor the statement of fact because it allows the child to do a little more thinking, analysis of the situation. So what happens if you forget? The child says no, and it's still a requirement that you're communicating. You weren't really asking a question. You forgot and you phrased your communication as a question. Just let a few minutes pass and then try again. But what we don't want to do is just ignore their answer. If it's something really immediate, like let's say they just used the toilet and you say, would you wash your hands please? And they say no, well, you can't wait 5 minutes while they go, touch everything in the house. So then you can say, oh, that wasn't really a question. I'm sorry. What I should have said was, remember to wash your hands, please. Be sure to like this video and subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel page for a playlist with more toddler communication tips, as well as Montessori at-home videos, and growth mindset strategies. All right, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Expectation.